Hi, this is Chris. Welcome to my channel. It's time to catch up on the 52 Flags challenge by Anne Brooke for June. And I thought I would start with my cover because I've gotten a lot more done on it. I've added the little pieces here, and I added these little green scraps with a split stitch and these little red scraps, and I embellished these laces here and here. I embroidered this rose and the leaves. Still have a little bit more to do on those. These roses I'll leave as is, but this one I'm doing the leaves a little bit. I'm going to write Stitchery on here, and perhaps I'll put the year 2022 somewhere on there. The only problem is I've totally misplaced the book that I had gutted to use for this, because I'm putting my flags in a book, sort of like the Roxy Journal of Stitchery challenge. So I'm using them for inspiration for binding them into a book, but I don't know what I did with the cover. If I have to, I'll just have to get some book board and make one from scratch, which I could do. But I'm happy this. I like this bit of gold right here. I think that's really pretty. It kind of goes with the grayish color in there. So that's the cover. And then this is the first, and this is how I'm doing them. I'm putting sampler stitches on each page, and I'm putting a bit of this woven cord in the center to give it some stiffness so that I have something good to hang on to when I do the spine. And then I'm just randomly slow stitching, quilting around each one. And so that's the next four. And this one has a running stitch, and this one has a back stitch. And then the next ones, I've got the cord in here, but I haven't got it sewn. And this one has a running stitch that's whipped, so the running stitch is in green and the whipping is in blue. And that's those four. And then this one has a back stitch that's whipped, so the back stitch is in yellow and the whipping is in green. I've got threads everywhere. My goodness. And so that's that one so far. And the next one, I have the sampler stitches in. I have a running stitch that's woven, so the running stitch is purple and the woven is in yellow. And then the next page is another running stitch, and I have it woven in a way that I would call it arabesque. I haven't seen this listed anywhere, and I just sort of came up with it, but I'm sure it's been done many times before. And so that brings us to June. So the first one in June was Crown Jubilee, so a 70th Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth in England, a Platinum Jubilee. And this was the logo that Anne shared with us that was designed by a young man, and he won a contest for that logo. And then that was number 22, and so week number 23 was A Frenzy of French Knots. And here are my French knots, starting with 6 strands and then going down to 5 strands, 4 strands, 3 strands, 2 strands, and then all the way down here to 1 strand. And then I just added some on the sides, and I also added some little crystal beads. See if you can see those sparkle or not. I can bring it closer. There, they kind kind of show up a little bit. Week number 24 was Rosette. I like how this one came out. I think it's really cute. I used pinks and purples. And then I used a kind of, I think it might be a drapery fabric. It's a little bit canvasy, but not too heavy. And it has some leaves and stems on it. And then I cut out one of the leaves and put some Wonder Under on it to give it some stiffness. And then this little piece of lace that looks kind of like a fence. And I thought that came out really cute. I'm happy with that one. And then week 25 was stitching on paper. And this was inspired by artist Karen Ruan. I looked her up and I couldn't find anything where she was stitching on paper, but I found some interesting stitching that she had done. And when Anne demonstrated this flag, I thought these little wheels, I can't remember what they're called, what that stitch is called, I thought they looked sort of like sea urchins, so I decided on a underwater theme. And I added these. I did 6 points instead of 8. And I have this fabric that looks kind of like seaweed. You can't see a whole lot of it. And this one looks kind of like water. I didn't have any fabric with any seashells or fish or anything on it, so I embroidered this seashell. And I did some cross stitch and some bullion stitch and some French knots and did some of the piercing with the needle on the paper. And then we're caught up so far. For my sampler stitch, I did the is it the fly stitch or the leaf stitch? I can never remember. And so I will continue that here, and then on the back I'll do something similar to that. I'm also doing the 52 tag roulette, and the June prompts were number 41 bullions, number 6 buttons, although we already did 3 buttons earlier in the year, and 46 is wrapped. And I'm behind, I haven't gotten those done yet. I still need to do the Pekingese stitch for May, and then the 3 for June. But this is so small that it doesn't take very much. I mean, just one little sample is pretty much all I need to do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day stitching. Bye-bye.